I created my own VST, and I made loads of sounds using the principles of getting a sound in, say, a synth like Serum or any synth, it doesn't really matter, balanced and nice and fat. Well, let's quickly look at that, and then you understand. So when you're designing stuff, your own sounds, you can keep an eye on this, because I'm used to make the wickedest sounds. Like for instance, my first Serum pack. I'm just going to take this. I have no idea what it is. So Serum themselves have got it on their website, 1 and 2, this pack. And at the time, I thought, yeah, it sounds amazing. But now, I don't know, 6, 7 years on, I'm like, well, it could have been better, and I'll explain the reasons. So let's quickly turn it down. Right. Actually, this one doesn't sound too bad, but I'll find one that's not that great. So here's the sound. Make it longer, actually. Look at it in a visualizer, some representation so I can see it, which is probably beneficial if you're working at home and stuff. I mean, these studios are amazing, so you can hear it a bit more. This is good. This is an example of saying it's got good frequency content, and this is what I meant by when you're designing sounds or sounds in general. You see it's got lots of bottom end, and it's sloping off. That's kind of how a human hearing works. You know, we need more sub. I mean, the mids we're quite good with, and the super highs we can't really hear that well. But if you boost super highs too much, it hurts our ears. So right, this is a good one as well. Sorry. Well, take this one for instance. It could have a little bit more sub, maybe. Let me find one that's not very good. Right, this one's wrong. Let me just turn this down. It's cool, but you can see the loudest part of it is the mid-range here. You see that? So it's not exactly the most balanced sound in the world. Really, if I wanted to just use this sound on its own, or if I wanted to process it a bit more, it'd be better if I'd have put the sub up a bit more. So when I'm making sounds now, I'm always conscious of, has it got the right frequency content to start with? And say if someone buys one of my sounds, they can just use it in their tune. They don't have to sit there and make it sound better. Obviously you can, do you know what I mean? But if it's got the right frequency content to start with, it's better to make songs with. Right, so I made a load of sounds. I'm only going to go through this quickly. Let me see if I've got the processing chain. Yeah, so let me grab this Serum, chuck it into that one. It says contact, and put that on it. Put the MIDI on it, and turn it back up. And just take that Reese. Try and do this quickly. Jump up anthems. Let's go with this one. Right, so that's that Reese we was messing with earlier when I was talking about the loudness and stuff. If I take this processing off, which is kind of similar to what we was looking at a minute ago, let me just see if I can move these two into it. I always get confused with Ableton. Yeah, right. If I take this processing off, it will sound like this. Not as fat, right? So I sat and made a shit ton of sounds, and then thought I want to sell a sample pack, but I thought that's been done to death. When I first started, all the rest of the drum and bass scene seemed to copy me, so I thought I'd make a synth. And this is what I made. So it's like a rompler. So it took me about 2 or 3 months, but I loaded it with loads of 6 sounds that are fully processed, ready to use with the right frequency content, clipped at 0. Everything's nice and balanced, and they're ready to use in your music. Make sense? Because you've now got the cheat code of how I've made this, because you just sat here and kind of figured out how I'm making music at the moment. There you go, and you end up with mental sounding Reese's. You hear it's got a little pitch dive on it, like the other Reese. Beep. Which then cuts through the speakers, especially when you're clipping or it's in a big club. You know, you've got something to grab onto the sound. The synth has got like 200, or it's not a synth, it's a rompler, it's got 200 sounds in it. It's got gain, reverb, delay time, it's got a filter. I wanted to keep it really simple. Let's switch this up. Got bass and treble, and you've got ADSR, and then you can go through the sounds here. Stuff like that. So this has done really well. It's been out a month, and it's done really well. So if you want to get into sound design, and I'm sure there's people here who could help you. There's also, you should look into creating your own VST romplers. I mean, creating your own VST synths is something different.
What's a rompler?
A rompler is sample based, so it's got loads of sounds which I've made and put into it.
Yeah.
And a lot of romplers are a bit weak. You know, they're not like ready to use like that. But I really made sure the sounds were like just like bang. You know, you can chuck them in a tune and off you go. That sort of thing.
So the sounds that you made in Serum,
yeah,
a VST that you made that has all of those parameters.
Exactly. I've run them through some hardware as well, just to give them a bit more of a posh sound, and yeah, just put them in the synth and so on. So not only can I use this a lot in my own music, you can also sell it as well. There's quite a lot of money in software design. I couldn't program you a synth like Serum. I just wouldn't have. I'm not bright enough, but I can make sounds, cool sounds, and do a little bit of programming now.